Hi, Leo, and thank you for joining me, and welcome to this reading for 2018 love. I'm excited to be here with you guys, and I will do a love slash soulmate reading with the Engel Tarot. This is Engel Tarot. It's an out of print deck. You guys will have a hard time finding it, but it's really beautiful, and it's all about angels, and it's fine art, and I've read with it before. It doesn't fit very well because the cards are really large, but it's really worth it. These are only higher arcana cards that I'm reading with, which means that we're talking about archetypes for you and your soulmate. So there was the most requested video that I do is this reading with the heart. And so I thought that for your love reading, we'll double up on that because people were requesting it a lot. So why don't we take a look at what's going on for you and your partner? If you are a single, this still pertains to you. Basically, we're looking at how you and your next partner are going to come together. So let's take a look at your cards. Your first card is, so we have the moon. So this is a really interesting card to get for the central or starting point. It says as though there are a lot of personal connections that you are conveying or that you are looking to convey to your partner, maybe on both sides. Maybe there's hidden feelings and emotions. Maybe you're working through different facets of yourself to try to find a truth about your situation. The moon represents that we are kind of focused on some type of secret or mystery. It could be extremely seductive. It could be very passionate. It represents the sign of Pisces as well. But the moon is also the ruler of Cancer in astrology, but in tarot it is Pisces. So it could be one or both, but yeah, definitely somewhere in between the water signs there. So it could be a love with a water sign, or possibly more like hidden feelings and emotions. Maybe this is a secret love that you haven't let someone know. Maybe this is a secret love they haven't told you about. Or maybe the true feelings are hidden somehow. This is sometimes called a deceptive card, but I think the deception that comes from it is one that can be resolved and from one from which you will grow from. So I don't think that it's something that is like bad intentions or some type of danger or some type of bad outcome will come of this. In fact, I think that you will learn a lot from this experience. The word that keeps coming to mind with this card is sensuality. So there is a level of sensuality that you and your partner are starting from. The position of this card represents the starting point for you and your partner. This is like the starting point of this year for you, where you both are at, wherever you are in your relationship. Now, if you are together with your partner, there's a lot of things that you are not saying to them. There's a lot of things that are unspoken, that are hidden. Now, if you are separate with your partner, if you've never met them before, or if you have had some kind of separation, then there is a doubt that is there, kind of a lack of understanding of how to get to where you are going. There's a big question mark in the air about how to find a, like a functional truth in your life, how to find an answer of how to achieve what you want to achieve, um, how to achieve what you want to achieve, and how to achieve your relationship with your partner. So there could be a significant amount of doubt that you or they or both of you will be feeling. There could be a feeling of kind of being lost at sea, not being sure which way to go. The next two cards represent your highest ideals in a relationship. So this is your ambition and what you are seeking to bring about in your life, in your relationship. Your first message is, so this is the Strength card. This is the card of Leo, and I love this card so much. So it's your card, in fact, but it's also a card of great passions. And let me tell you, I've done a few of these readings. You're about halfway through, and this card actually came up in this position for a lot of people, which means this year it looks like a lot of people are looking to have a sensual experience. They're looking to kind of let their passions be known. They want to be really authentic in relationships. They want to seek authentic relationships, and that's probably what you would like as well. I forgot to mention this in the intro, but if you guys want to watch your astrology reading, that's linked in the playlist down below. So go check out the Leo astrology, and the transits will explain why some of this sensuality is coming through. I won't get into that here because it's just going to become long-winded, but check out my astrology video in the below section, and throughout the whole year I'll throw in astrology into all the weekly readings, etc. Okay, so the second thing that you are looking for is the Wheel of Fortune. You're looking for a fundamental change with regard to your life, with regard to your life, with regard to a change in your life, a direction in your life. You're really hoping that your life will fundamentally change as a prospect in your relationship. You really want someone to come in or into your life, or if you are already with someone, you want that person to come forward, and you want to make a sweeping change in your life, to have that transformative moment, to become a different person, to go somewhere else, to have a different experience. You want that fundamental change. You want that passion. You want that good luck. You want everything to change and come through and make sweeping changes for you. For the beginning part of the year, January, and probably till like February or so, you have Mars and Jupiter in your fourth house of home and family. So this is going to start your year off in a big push with desiring a really romantic relationship in the home, something that you can trust. That's where your mind is at. And Jupiter will actually stay in that home area of your life, bringing you good luck in home and family issues until March of 20 until sorry November of 2018. Okay, so I'm a little bit of a scaredy cat and there's a spider, so sorry about that. So the next message we have is the Hanged Man. Now this represents your partner. This represents your partner, and it represents the what your partner's ideal is. I think that your partner is looking for a partner in whom they can sacrifice and who will sacrifice for them as well. So it's kind of like a two-way street where both people are giving up of themselves towards the other person. The next message is we have the High Priestess. So they're looking for someone to give them great insight. These are interesting things that your partner is looking for. It looks as though right now they want someone to have a big spiritual experience with. I feel as though your partner is looking to be kind of educated by life. They don't mind losing certain things in life in order to get at the kernel of what it means to be in their situation or in their circumstances. I feel as though there is this passion that is within them. They want a partner who will be able to clarify things for them, or things that bring them to a greater awareness themselves. Now, if you don't know your partner, they're looking for that. But if you know your partner, this is what they want in the relationship. They want you to sacrifice something of yourself to kind of build that bond deeper. And then secondarily, they want insight. They want deeper insight. It's almost like they want those answers. And it's funny, as you go into these types of things deeper, intuition, etc., you realize that the desire to have an answer is kind of the mistake in and of itself. So you need to learn to let go of the need of having an answer, and that's where true intuition resides. So it's kind of interesting that they are seeking someone. It makes me think of someone like who is looking for a substitute mother or father figure, someone who will tell them which way to go because for whatever reason they are lost. I think that what your approach to the current predicament is much more grounded, and so because of these cards, I think that probably your partner is infusing the situation with a lot more doubt than you are. because I feel as though they're kind of caught up in a moment. They want, I mean, this is like almost like codependency. I want you to give up something of yourself so that so that we are somehow made closer. It's like, well, that's not how people are made close, right? People are made close by just living with one another and experiencing life together. It can't be formulated. And if it is formulated, then it loses some of its validity in my eyes anyway. So it feels like they're kind of forcing the issue and they want to create something where it's going to take a lot more time. It's like they have an agenda or they have an ambition for the relationship, right? But then there's the high priestess, and that's the other thing. They kind of want that insight. Maybe that's pointing to the fact that they're going through something very significant. I mean, everybody goes through difficult things, and sometimes people don't have enough support. They don't have enough understanding, so we're not ones to judge them. But it feels as though they're quite dependent or they're seeking some type of dependency type of relationship. We'll see where that goes, but it just seems like a little bit forced. Whereas you want passion and you want life. You want to throw yourself at the world. And in your 2018 reading, remember there came through a message that was like, you're getting that Saturn in Capricorn, you're getting that release of Saturn in Sagittarius and the freedom of that fifth house being alleviated. However, there's still things that you have to work through in 2018 in order to get there. So it's like it's coming, but it's not coming as fast as maybe you had hoped. Fire signs are not known for your patience. You guys are known to want things yesterday. Okay, so here is the next two positions. So this one represents your next stage in the journey, and this represents your partner. So let's take a look at the cards. So you have the Tower. So I feel as though, I think depending on how serious your connection is, or how serious your connection is, or how serious their predicament is, that can have a real large volume of influence upon your life in various ways. And and so you might experience some kind of fundamental transformation, upheaval, change, shift that happens for you. This is the Tower, right? So shift, transformation, upheaval, just kind of loss of what you know. And it's really hard when you're trying to play on the team with someone and they're going through such significant issues, because that invariably affects you. Now, the way that this reading works is it doesn't mean that this is some casual relationship or, dating or maybe rah-rah. This is concerning very serious relationships. So this is your soulmate, this is your twin flame, this is your true love, whatever kind of energy we're talking about here. If you don't know this partner, this Tower represents that their struggle makes you feel like suddenly anxious. Like, for example, if you don't have anxiety ever, if you don't ever have like an anxious feeling or concern, then if they're going through something and you feel them pull away, even though you don't know them, we have these connections with our soulmates. Then you can feel like a pretty big dose of anxiety. I've gone through that before. When someone I was really connected with had some things going on. It happens, and there's lots of people who I'm connected with that way, but there was just like a very stark experience that just happened recently, and yeah, so I don't want to get into it too much, but without knowing what's going on, you vicariously feel the energy of what's going on. And if this person is your soulmate, if this person is your twin flame, then that can just really shock you to pieces, really kind of be a huge upheaval, really a huge upheaval. It can be a huge kind of uncomfortable space, and you don't know what's going on until you find out what's going on. I've had so many experiences of that recently. I was thinking of one person, but it's actually like three or four just in the last 3 months. people who have been going through various things. One person I know was in very big debt, and I'm very close to that person. And even though they never told me about it, I was like constantly anxious, and I'm not actually a very anxious person, but I was excusing it as being overworked, right? But then I found out that that's what it was, and my anxiety level, it went just straight down because their debt was alleviated and that problem was fixed. So when I found out that that happened, it was like a transcendent moment, and it was very interesting to experience that, right? So it's kind of a similar thing. I'm trying to graph out for you what this kind of looks like because it's a bit of an abstract concept that a lot of people won't, you know, get it. But once I point you in that direction, you'll understand. So if you've been feeling this kind of like anxiety, like you don't know what it's about, but you feel it and it's not paranoia, then it could possibly be you connecting with your soulmate who you don't know yet or who you know who's struggling with something, right? So you could be feeling that upheaval. Sorry, that's a bit of a tangent, but I think it was an important one to mention. So the next step for them is a breakthrough. This is the star. This is really good because that means that they're going to get on point and they're going to figure out whichever direction they're meant to take. This could be also a chance meeting between the two of you because the tower for me is always love at first sight because it's like suddenly that person is there and your life's changed forever. So the star is destiny. So those two cards together in the next stage of the game can represent, destiny coming together or falling in love with that person. Okay, so the next two cards represent advice cards. These are spiritual advice cards. First for you, then your partner. Let's have a look. We have, we have the Magician first. So the Magician points to the fact that you have a lot of creative ability, Leo. I feel as though in the day-to-day, applying yourself towards things, trying to achieve things, to make things work, the Magician brings about change in their life around them. My advice here in the channeled message is that if one thing isn't working, then very quickly apply yourself in a different direction, and then the outcome of that energy will produce for you a really good outcome. Here is the next message. We have the Hermit. So Leo, this time you're either going to have to hang out with a Virgo, hey girl, hey, or you are going to have to do a bit of solitary soul searching. This means that maybe this year it's important for you to just kind of try to find your own truth in situations rather than camaraderie, because camaraderie can be very distracting for you and split your energy away from, you know, yourself or your core. And the worst thing is that a soulmate can do to you without even knowing is because you're enmeshed with them. They can drag you away from your truth, and then you have to spend time coming back. So if you come to this realization, which is the Tower, shock and realization about your current circumstances, it may push you this year to go in a different direction and broaden your horizons by looking within. Okay, so this is advice for your partner. If you don't know your partner, this is kind of giving you perspective of what's going on for them in their head. So the first message we have is the Devil. Yeah, they're struggling with something, and I feel that's coming through really strong in this reading, Leo. I feel like your partner is really, they've got their work cut out for them. It's really intense. It's not very forgiving, and they're kind of stuck with the way that things are. So the best thing you can do in this situation is allow them to go through the motions. If they're limiting themselves and you know them, if they're in your life, then you can just kind of challenge them on some of the stereotypes that are going on for them. But other than that, you want to release and you want to remove yourself. I think you have a lot of power that's positive for you, a lot of power to create things. I think that in a certain sense, you have to kind of go your own way and do your own thing for a minute so that they can kind of figure out what they're about. You know, no couple is together forever, you know, without any kind of break or pause. I think everybody has to go through something, and sometimes that journey is somewhat solitary. That doesn't mean that if you're in a couple, you're going to break up, but I feel as your partner is really, I think that they're disturbed, and I think that they're disturbed by like an existential crisis in their life. They're trying to figure things out. Now, if you don't know them, that's what's causing the delay. They're stuck in figuring out, trying to see the truth, seeing the destiny, and then being obsessed with it, you know? Here is the second clarifier. I feel as though very strongly from your partner they have like a condition like OCD or some kind of compulsive issue, because it feels that way, that they want to create a dependency. There's just stuff they're working through. They're really in the thick of it. The next message is the world. So I feel as though maybe the answer comes to them in travel, like maybe they need to kind of break out of their shell a little, go a different direction, try something different, and maybe they will find certain answers. Let's take a look at the next card. The outcome for the whole year is the Justice card. So I think that things will be fair, and the better that you are to this individual, the better I think the outcome will be. So it's like it's sneaking up on you, the Justice, you know? So it's like if this person really needs you and you're there for them at the end of the year when you need them, they're going to be there for you. I feel that's a very quick answer for this reading, but it's a good one, right? So it's like what you put into it, you're going to get in return. And I think that there'll be very clear answers by the end of the year about where your relationship is and what you need to do. I think that you'll be able to achieve those things. Leo, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading for 2018 in love, and I will talk with you guys soon. I wish you guys the best of luck. Check out your astrology and tarot readings and the Vimeo reading in the About section. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye.